meeting of Bucyrus City Council for August the 15th, 2017 is called to order. Please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
roll call, please.
McKeever.
Here.
Ross.
Yep.
Wireball.
Here.
Trucca.
Here.
Sack.
Here.
O'Rourke. Pfeiffer.
Here.
Before you have the minutes from the August 2nd, 2017 special meeting. I need a motion to accept those minutes.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Mr. Wireball, second by Mr. Trucca to approve the August 2nd, 2017 special minutes. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Motion passed. You also have before you the August 3rd, 2017 special meeting minutes. I need a motion to accept those minutes.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Pfeiffer, second by Ms. Sack to accept the August 3rd, 2017 special meeting minutes. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Motion passes. This is the time where we grant permission for visitors to speak. On our agenda for this evening, we have Tammy Knickel from the 80s Throwback Cruise. Is she here? Ready to announce? Did step to the podium, please, and state your name and your address.
Tammy Knickel, 592 Decatur Street, Marion, Ohio.
And I'm Julie Bell, 939 Beck Road, Gallion, Ohio.
What can we help you with this evening?
We had our 80s throwback last Saturday, well, the Saturday before. We had a really great turnout, and we wanted to thank the city for allowing us to do that. We had a lot of feedback on Facebook. We had a lot of class reunions that had taken place. And we were proposing to the city that we could possibly have laps again for 3 months out of the year. Julie has that information.
Yeah, it looks like,
Your name and address, did you give
yeah,
me
Julie Bell, 939 Beck Road.
Okay.
Yeah, we've talked it over with several of our classmates, and it looks like we know June is the car show. So we were wondering if we could do the first Saturdays in July. August and September, you get too much later than that, and the fancy cars go back in the garage. And then we'd also propose that we would like to do one more this year, which is September 2nd. It's to do another lap. Because we had, believe it or not, we had people that attended from Indiana, Georgia, Texas, and South Carolina just to come here and lap, you know. So that was just from the class of 86 from Colonel Crawford. It was very well organized. Tammy got that out there, and we were amazed. There was at least 500 cars lapping. People were out on, I mean, it wasn't as many lawn chairs out. We got out for the Bratwurst Festival, of course, but you know, we got up there and there was already people with lawn chairs. You know, we saw multi-generations lapping together. You had grandpa, dad, and grandson, and it was just neat. And you know, the kids were away from their devices. They were, you know, enjoying the good old days. You know, the nostalgia that, you know, what Bucyrus used to be known for. You know, I grew up, I graduated from Gallion, but you know, I always had to come over to Bucyrus to lap. You know, that's what you had to do. Gallion would kill to have something like that, to be known for that and have that kind of, you know, people come just to do that. I know, I mean, we saw preteen girls that were like, whoa, you know, they'd never, you know, I'm sure, you know, they've never known that in their lifetime, and because I don't know when it stopped here, but we know we saw the gas stations were busier, Baker's was busier, I know the ice cream shop was busier. We even saw a truck that was set up there at Family Video, an ice cream truck, and he had wished that he would have been better prepared because he ran out of product. So
We were kind of hoping to promote the first Saturday along with the first Fridays that go on in town. kind of maybe hoping to get the businesses to jump on board, and that would help promote business for them also. So we're kind of hoping to bring that along as an opportunity for Bucyrus to get some of their merchants out there to get a little more income for them also.
Right, because I know, we stopped a few times because, you see all friends that you haven't seen in, decades. So you stop, you wish there would have been some of the businesses right there, oh, that, I'd like to see that place, working, I work, 9-to-5 job, but, I don't get over here to get to a lot of that stuff.
The reason we only asked for 3 months out of the summer is we didn't want to take away the nostalgia of taking laps. We no longer get to do that anymore. It's something that we looked forward for 3 months to be able to go uptown and take laps with our friends and, and see the kids we hadn't seen in school forever. And I know we saw a lot of the older gentlemen up there with their cars. The class of '84, Bucyrus High School class of '84, actually met up at Dillinger's after laps, and they had their class reunion thing over there. So we're kind of hoping to promote those schools to, jump on board and, hey, let's get our school class together, let's go uptown, let's take some laps.
Like we did in the old days, so.
So yeah, we're getting old and we want to relive our youth.
Yeah, I know my husband, he was driving, he said, he goes, I haven't felt this good in 20 years, And, they're like, hey, look at those old people. Oh, okay, wait a minute, those people are us. So, we didn't feel like we were those people, we felt younger,
Yeah, it was really nice that the city allowed us to do that again. And like we said, we very much appreciate that and hope that this is something that we can possibly do again.
And don't go off the route, because if you do, it's hard to get back in.
No, and we did not see a lot of people. I don't think there was any negative feedback from anybody that we talked to, and we didn't see a lot of anybody causing trouble up there.
No,
Everybody was obeying the
respectful
laws and was being very. It was nice to see everybody socialize.
Might have been a few peeling of the tires, but
I didn't do that.
Neither did my husband. But it was just neat that because we were behind some police officers at one of our times trying to get back in, and it was just a neat time. It just felt like the old days, and sometimes with everything that's going on in the world today, to get away from that for a little while and just feel like you did back then, it was an awesome experience.
It was really nice.
So, and we definitely want to thank you guys for allowing it. So.
Mr. Mayor, comments?
No, speaking as a former lapper myself,
Yours was a long time before the 1980s.
Oh.
He's turning it
We didn't say that.
Ask Madam President what year she graduated.
Before you.
No, I think it's great. I think if you want to do one in September, we have to double check the date, because I know one of those Saturdays is the day Honda comes through to go to Cedar Point.
Yes.
And, we don't want traffic stretched up there.
Right.
Yeah, that was something we thought about. We wish we could, put a little nostalgia sign and say, hey, you may be delayed, welcome to come through, but you may be delayed sometime. But I don't know what you can do. We know there was some we saw some U-Hauls get in there and say, ooh, sorry.
The lights are timed a little different than they were in 1972. But it's still the same town, so.
We were kind of hoping to do laps from like 7 to 10 because we know that the lights do change at 10.
Yes.
And then that would also be a sign for people to know, hey, time to go home.
It's done, yeah.
It's over.
So then they would have time to enjoy some more of the businesses, go to Baker's or, go to Dillinger's or something.
Just call our office and we'll get a permit, parade permit again like we did the last time. And just double check the date, so. Just call us in the next couple of days.
Okay, I'll call you on Monday after, Robert.
Good idea. That's an even better idea.
Hey, Officer Keegan, any comments about it? Did you work Saturday night, or?
I didn't work it yet. So
Pardon?
there was nothing in our reports that said
Okay.
anything negative towards it.
thanks for doing
And
it.
so I think it involves what, a parade permit or an
Yes.
event permit?
Yeah, great, yeah.
Okay.
So I would need to get a parade permit for those 4 dates.
Well, we can do this year's first, and
Okay.
then maybe we'll get together after the first year and pick the other dates.
Okay,
Would that be okay with you?
that would be awesome.
Okay, we appreciate you doing this.
We're ecstatic.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Shifting gears completely,
Would you like me to come to the podium?
you can stand there if you want to, either way works. Gordon Grove is our code enforcement officer, and he is bringing us some information this evening.
Well, to give you an update on property maintenance, Property Maintenance Bureau, I took over as the property maintenance inspector on February the 15th. And from February the 15th through August the 15th, which is today, the property maintenance office has made a lot of improvements and changes. And some of the improvements we've made to help the community contact our office for information and to register for complaints. We have several different ways now that that can be done. We can either use the City of Bucyrus website and under the www.cityofbucyrusoh.us, if you go under the departments, you can find property maintenance there as far as making some type of contact with me. We also have an email address, which is the Bucyrus Property Maintenance @gmail.com, which goes directly to my office and my laptop computer. It can be done by telephone. You can contact the City Hall number at 419-562-6767, extension 235, and that goes into property maintenance. We have a young lady down in our office who has worked to put a page on Facebook for us now, which if you look up Bucyrus Property Maintenance, it'll take you to our Facebook page. And we also have complaint forms that are also upstairs in the Mayor's Safety Service Director's office, where someone can either come in and fill out the complaint form, they can make a complaint directly to, I believe, the secretary upstairs, and that information can also be passed on to me. So we have a variety of ways now that property maintenance can be contacted. I apologize that not every complaint has been followed up on yet, but we're operating strictly on complaints and doing the follow-ups. And when I came into office, I had a stack of complaints about this thick when I started. I'm finally getting it down to about half an inch thick now. So with complaints continually coming in, it's a little bit difficult to keep up. The property maintenance office is operating at 20 hours per week. I currently try to maintain the following schedule. On Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, I'm here from 8:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m., which is 5 hours a day. So after 4 days, I've got my 20 hours in. That doesn't mean that one week I may not run over and then cut it back to next week so that I'm staying within the requirements that the City Council has approved. Fridays kind of works as needed, but if I do have somebody that says they need to meet with me based on a violation or anything like that, I ask them to try and let me know what works for them and work the schedule accordingly. So if somebody needs to see me at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I may cut the hour short one day, come back in, or whatever I have to do to try and help those individuals out. All property maintenance inspections have been conducted and been the result of complaints received by the property maintenance office. The Bucyrus Property Maintenance Office has conducted approximately 152 inspections since I took office February 15th. And to try and break that down a little bit, I had 26 different inspections that basically dealt with mattresses, televisions, furniture, and other items that have been left out at the street curb, to try and inform the public what items we don't pick up and which ones we do. I have some door hangers that were created prior to my coming into office that kind of help explain that to the individuals when it comes to different types of things that the city doesn't deal with, or trying to get grass and weeds at the proper level of 6 inches or less. Another 33 were the result of grass, weed, and property issues. 2 of the properties that I have done inspections on and had notice of violations on, they're currently in foreclosure and headed towards land bank. We have 5 other properties that had notice of violations that actually are in land bank at this time. We have written 3 demolished structure orders. We have another 49 notice of violations which have moved beyond my level to our law director's step and are proceeding as needed. And we have another 35 notices of violation currently at property maintenance level, or myself as far as the level. The Bucyrus Property Maintenance Inspector, the Law Director, Safety Service Director, Bucyrus Fire Department, Bucyrus Police Department, Bucyrus Water and Sewer Departments, and the Crawford County Health Department have worked diligently together the past several months trying to correct some property issues because some of them are not under our jurisdiction, as we found. Mobile home parks as an example, and we did have some people in to discuss that with us. And so we've had to work with different agencies trying to make sure that we can try and work together and get these issues taken care of. I'd also like to thank the Law Director, Rob Ratliff, and the Safety Service Director, Jeff Wagner, and all the agencies and departments for their assistance in working together. End of report.
Thank you. Any questions for Mr. Grove? No? Thanks for bringing the pictures. Those are, I mean, that shows what, I'm not seeing. That shows what we're, what is in our community.
And this is done about, probably about maybe 1/10 of the pictures of different properties, but I tried to bring a variety of pictures to show you some of the different issues we're dealing with, well, all the way from grass and weeds to major structural issues. So.
Okay, Mr. Mayor?
I'm done with a question. I'm just going to make a comment thanking council for putting that money in the budget. Can you imagine where we'd be if we didn't have Clive Grove and Rob Ratliff working, on this? So what you've done is, is amazing. In just a short time you've been there, we thank you for that.
I thank you for that. It's been great working with Rob so far, and obviously my experience as fire inspector for 39 years has definitely helped me. But Rob has been a great help.
Mr. McPeter?
How about the house on East Hopley, just across the tracks, the second house on the north side?
That would be roughly 600 block.
Yeah, that's, there are pending charges. That's advanced.
Yeah, I believe that's one of the properties that's moved to your staff, correct?
Yep.
And when you say your stuff, you mean into the court system?
Yes, yeah, criminal charges.
What happens there, I'll just explain that a little bit. If something happens, we send out the notice, and nobody gets back with us, or we have absolutely no contact with the property owner after the 30-day or 10-day, depending on what the issue is. If it's grass and weeds, it's a 10-day notice. If it's a property issue, it's a 30-day notice. If we have no contact and have not had any corrections made to those violations, what I do is I go back out after the 30 days, and sometimes it's 31, 32 days before I go back out. If nothing's been done to the property, we've had no contact, then it automatically moves on to the law director.
Mr. McPeter?
How about the house on West Rensselaer in the 400 block? Is that 400?
Yes.
Oh, on the south side, next to the last house, next to your former fellow fireman.
Well, to be honest with you, I can't tell you that address rings a bell, but I've had so many inspections. If at some point you would like to come down to the office, we can try and look up that address.
It's in his.
Yeah, that one, there is a pending condemnation order that was appealed to Common Pleas Court.
Okay.
We've had several pre-trials, and I believe we have another pre-trial set for September in Common Pleas Court. As I said, it's been set out by the court several times. So hopefully by then we'll have a final resolution confirming the order to demolish.
One of the things that I discussed with Rob when I came into office, and sometimes what I consider to be minor issues sometimes get pushed down to the bottom of the list, and so I don't want anybody to think that we've not taken care of them, but if we have something comes in as a major issue, it moves right to the top of the list, trying to resolve it, especially if it's something, a dangerous building, dilapidated building that may cause some serious issues.
Mr. O'Rourke?
Save me a comment, save the mayor a little work. Southeast corner of Victoria and Southland, there's a fire hydrant hidden in the bushes and the weeds. If it needs to be used, it won't be able to.
Where was that at again?
southeast corner of Southland and Victoria and Huggins.
Okay. I haven't heard a complaint on that so far. I'll take a look at that, see what I can do under property maintenance.
Okay, anyone else? Okay, thank you very much for coming. We appreciate your report.
Thank you.
Always informative. Anyone else that would like to address council this evening? Please step to the podium, please. We need your name and address.
Is this the proper time for any issue?
Pastor, go right ahead.
Okay. Bill Wirt, 1343 State Route 294. I'm pastor of Lighthouse Baptist Church and also a Dallas Township trustee. I don't intend to be repetitive, but I know I've spoken before, but not everybody has been here. So if I may pass these around, please. Some of you saw it before, but I don't know who. And I'll be brief. I understand from what was in the paper that you would be considering the possibility of serving alcohol on the streets. And I just wanted to hit three things very quickly. First of all is to remind you of this scripture, and I hope that you will take it seriously. My experience is that God's never been wrong yet. And there is another verse in the Bible that says, "Be not deceived, God is not mocked. Whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap." And I think that's true of countries, and it's also true of cities. So I hope that you will not approve something that is going to reap some very dire consequences in the future. My concern is that with approving that you might open a floodgate of people that you don't want coming to our town, and also it may result in a lot of trouble just in town, and I don't think it's going to give us a reputation that we want. Also, I would ask the question, when is it going to be enough? Every grocery store in town sells alcohol, every gas station, the pizza places, the Legion has it, the VFW, the Moose, the Elks, the golf course. Can't we at least have one place where the people that are opposed to it can go and not have to expose their children to it or be exposed to it themselves? Thirdly, I hope that you would consider the police. I have had, since I spoke the last time and it was mentioned in the paper, I've had a number of phone calls, and I told them to talk to you. You're kind of an intimidating bunch, you know. But I told them they ought to call you or come and speak themselves. But I have had a number of people that have stopped me and a number of calls that think that it's not wise if the city does that. But I hope that you would consider the police. One person that is, I would say this is on good authority, and I won't name them because of confidence, but they said that the police oppose this. And so I don't know if you have spoken to the chief or any of them, but I hope that you would consider that, because they're the ones that are especially going to have to deal with it. And thank you for letting us speak.
Thank you for coming. Any questions or comments? Thank you very much, Pastor Wirt. Anyone else who wants to address council this evening? No one? Moving on then. Communications and petitions, a letter from the Board of Zoning Appeals.
We have a letter from the BZA dated August 10th, addressed to the Bucyrus City Council regarding items referred by the City of Bucyrus Board of Zoning Appeals for council's review and approval in the appropriate committee. Dear Council President, the Bucyrus City Board of Zoning Appeals met on Tuesday, August 8, 2017, at the request of Bucyrus Mobile Home Village LLC to discuss and consider their application for a similar use determination in the mobile home residential MHR district. Subject 1, Bucyrus Mobile Home Village located at 25 Waterford Glen would like to rent vacant/unrented mobile home lots to tenants who will place a recreational vehicle, or RV, or camper on those lots. Essentially, this changes the use of the property to a campground and is not permitted within the manufactured home residential zoning district. Therefore, Bucyrus Mobile Home Village has applied for a hearing before the Board of Zoning Appeals. They are seeking a similar use determination. If granted, this would allow campgrounds to be a permitted use within the manufactured home residential zoning district. The board was hesitant to either grant or deny the similar use determination based on the case presented. Given that a similar use determination would have resulted in campgrounds being considered a permitted use by right in the MHR district, the board felt granting the request without the ability to place conditions on the approval may lead to a deterioration of the neighborhood in said district. The board was also hesitant to deny the request because they felt the applicants presented a logical development plan that, if continued with certain restrictions, would be beneficial to the owners, the neighborhood, and the city of Bucyrus. Another factor in not denying the request was the presentation of a license by the state of Ohio for a campground at this location and approval from the Crawford County Health District. After much discussion, it was agreed that council should review section 1167.04 of the zoning code and determine if a campground would be an appropriate conditional use in the MHR district. During the preparation of this case, it was discovered that section 1103.02A is in conflict with the permitted and conditional uses of the MHR district, 1167.03 and 1167.04. If a conditional use was established, it would resolve this discrepancy in the code and give the Board of Zoning Appeals the ability to grant a conditional use with specific restrictions. We ask that council please place this issue in the appropriate committee for consideration of an amendment to the zoning code. Sincerely, Harry Lipscomb, Chairman, Board of Zoning Appeals.
Questions or comments regarding the letter? This would go into health and safety, plating. Okay, I need a motion to place this in plating.
So moved.
Second? Motion by Mr. McKeever, second by Ms. Sack to place this letter from the Board of Zoning Appeals to the plating committee. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion passed. Thank you. That's the last one. Communication. Yes.
Could I make a comment on that?
Oh, always.
Okay. I'd just like to say that what this person's asking for on here, they having property allowed to move an RV in on temporarily or whatever, I don't know what's gonna come out to be. But, now this is down in the north end of town, I know, and, but just recently, about a month ago, in the corner of Woodlawn and Kersley, there was a vacant lot there, been vacant for some time. Now a person has moved an RV in on that property, and they put the fence up, which they had to permit to get their fence up, but it has become about the ugliest looking piece of property around. You know, I mean, there's trash laying around and everything else, you know, that's, so you might want to consider what this could be when you start doing something like this. And also, the person that wants to do this, he has numerous properties in town that are sitting empty, got rusted windows out. There's two of them right on the other corner of Kersley and Woodlawn that this person owns. And they've been sitting empty for years. They got broken windows out of them. A few months ago, on a windy day, the metal roof blew off of the one house, you know, that, now he did repair the roof, but should have pulled the house down, you know, I mean, I don't know, but take into consideration what this person has already and what else they want favors to do something in town, to do other property, you know, use it. But he's not even taking care of the ones he's got in town, you know. They're sitting vacant and they're empty, broken windows and that stuff, so.
Okay, thank you. Mr. McKeever?
Yes, I had two residents of the said property approach me about this, and they were really upset about how they had these RVs, trailers, etc. there. Also, he was rather gouging them also, from what I was told by the resident there, as their fee is $200 and some per lot per month, and they were charging them over $600 or more. Now, I'm not sure say or not, but she said that's what they were told by one of the renters. I'm worried about the neighborhood that Beverly Drive, everybody have to drive down Beverly Drive to get in there and calling in RVs. It's not, I don't believe, I can tell you right now, I'm totally against it. I'm not in favor of it.
I think one of the reason behind this is that it's a pipeline that's going north of us. And a lot of the people that work the pipeline have RVs as they move with the pipeline, as they finish a section of the pipeline. And so they were, my understanding was that they had filled several of the RV parks and were looking for other places to be able to park their RVs while they were working. But that was from the state level, which is why the state issued the license to them, but we also require a license here in our city for it. So that's why it's been brought back to us. Other questions or comments regarding this? Okay, it's in plating committee then, and it will be up for discussion, not this Thursday, but Monday. So that's in the plating committee. Okay, anyone else with comments at this point? We'll move on to our standing committee reports. Mr. Wireball, do you want to get us started with this, please?
Sure. Bucyrus City Council joint regular committees met Thursday, August 3rd, 2017. We began at 6 p.m. Members present: Dan Ross, Dan Wireball, Bruce Truca, Monica Sack, Joel O'Rourke, and Steve Piper. Bucyrus joint regular committee meeting was called to order by Wireball at 6 p.m. There was no public participation, and public lands and buildings began at 6:02 with members Mark McKeever, Monica Sack, Bruce Truca, and myself as chair. I guess.
I wasn't.
Yeah, Mark wasn't there. I read the wrong line. I'm sorry. Monica, Bruce, and myself were there. Okay, Pines Reservoir. The city is considering looking for interested parties to purchase the reservoir, which needs repairs to the dam. The Crawford Park District is open to receiving the property as a donation. Pat Murphy, 153 Washington Square, expressed a desire to buy the reservoir to maintain as a conservation property. He noted that a private individual would likely be able to repair the dam for less money than the city could, and would be better able to keep undesirable elements off the property. He offered to give the city a property he owns on Washington Square as a partial swap for the reservoir. Murphy showed council members photos of other properties he's worked on. Concerns were expressed that the city might need the Pines Reservoir's water in the future, but the administration noted that the off-weight reservoir provides an ample water supply for the city. The matter was tabled for further discussion, with the administration instructed to pursue an appraisal of the Pines Reservoir property. Second order was Aumiller Park easement. The administration is requesting the granting of an easement to AEP so the power company can replace utility poles in Aumiller Park. Zach made a motion to request legislation granting the easement with a second by Truca. Motion passed by voice vote. Wireball recessed Public Lands and Buildings Committee at 6:45 p.m.
Any questions regarding the Public Lands and Buildings meeting? Mr. O'Rourke?
I guess probably to Mr. Ratliff and Mr. Wildlaw, but I was pinned down, I guess approached by a citizen. The question was whether we can just sell this to a private individual or should it go out for bid if we're going to sell it.
We can't sell it to a private individual. It would have to be either bid or an economic development district type thing created, or there are some provisions that would allow certain land swaps, but in general, it has to go out to bid.
Any other questions?
Yes, have we ever got like an engineer's opinion on this dam, with the reservoir? Well, okay. So we're talking about a reservoir with a dam that everybody's saying may need a lot of work. Well, we don't even know that yet. Also, I would almost bet being a reservoir somebody, then you get a grant from them to pay to repair this dam. Now, Mr. Murphy wants to give us his building, the old bank building where Cashland is on the square. What's the maintenance part of that gonna be compared to this dam? You know, that building's gonna take a lot of maintenance, you know? It's built in the 1800s, you know? So we gotta take that into consideration when the committee goes and studies this, you know? Because there just could be a lot of expense there, but we don't even know if we have any expense yet with the dam. We don't even know that. So just take that into consideration when we start looking at this.
Any other questions or comments?
I just wanted to say after that meeting, whatever that was, the third, apparently it was the fourth, I stopped out at the reservoir and walked it. I didn't see this mattress that was supposed to be out there. I think it got picked up. And yeah, there was some beer cans, but mostly it was the little fishing, which you get your fish worms in. So, and someone had actually brought in their own trash can and set it there. So the other thing is it's so condensed right there. It's just that parking area. You can't, I mean, you can get across the dam, but most people aren't gonna walk across the dam or across that gully there. So, I mean, I didn't think it was that bad, but I'm not a forester. I don't know all these dead trees are I think if anything, if we opened it up where it was more visible from the road, you would have less things going on back there too. I mean, it seems like we're all wanting parks and things, and I think that would make a nice park, but that's just my general opinion, so.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Mr. Rourke?
A few months ago, wasn't there something about that somebody back in Wharton's owns part of that land?
No, we own part of the.
Right, we don't have to.
Pond, Morton's
Yeah,
Pond.
That's separate than where the reservoir is? Oh, okay. I thought it was the same.
They're close by. Any other questions or comments? Okay, thank you. Moving on. Finance Committee, Mr. Rourke.
Finance Committee is called to order at 6:45 p.m. Members present: Steve Piper, Dan Warbaugh, Bill Rourke, late, and Monica Sack, acting chair. Item 1, water pollution control loan fund application. Bruce Brandstetter of Brandstetter Carroll Incorporated. So letter of council stating that a resolution is required for the city to apply for water pollution control loan fund loan at 0% interest through the Ohio EPA for sanitary sewer project. The resolution earlier this year mistakenly authorized application for a water supply revolving loan account loan and did not specify that the loan was for a sanitary sewer project, namely the storm separation project on Hopley and Southern Avenues. Mr. Warbaugh made a motion requesting legislation and seconded by Mr. Piper. Motion passed by voice vote. Item 2, various appropriations. Auditor George Schiffer detailed 4 needed appropriations. A, from unappropriated funds, $1,000 in general fund / program 1 security of persons and property / fire department / contractual services for telephone bills for the rest of the year. B, from unappropriated funds, $200 in general fund / program 7 general government / general government / materials and supplies for the code enforcement officer's cell phone bills. C, an unappropriated funds, $1,000 in sewer disposal / sewer disposal operations and maintenance / contractual services for telephone bills for the rest of the year. D, $4,666.67 in derelict building liability / fire department / other uses for an insurance settlement received for a property on East Moore Street to be returned to the owner after property status is resolved. Mr. Warbaugh made a motion requesting legislation to make the above appropriation, seconded by Mr. Piper. Motion passed by voice vote. The SAC recess Finance Committee at 6:50 p.m.
Questions or comments regarding the Finance Committee meeting? None? Moving on to planning. Ms. Sack?
Planning Committee met at 6:50 p.m. to 6:53 p.m. Members present were Steve Piper, Bill O'Rourke, and myself as chair. Number 1, retail and dining alcohol sales in downtown business district. Following a public hearing on July 24th, 2 proposed amendments to the codified ordinances were referred to the committee for recommendation to council. The amendment of section 1175.02 would allow retail sales in the downtown business district's public right-of-way, namely sidewalks, as a permitted use with several stipulations. The amendment of section 1175.03 would allow dining and alcohol sales in the downtown business district's public right-of-way, namely sidewalks, as a conditional use with several stipulations. There was no discussion. Piper made a motion requesting 2 pieces of legislation amending the respective sections of the codified ordinances, with a second by O'Rourke. Motion passed by voice vote. Number 2, SAC recess planning committee at 6:53 p.m.
Questions or comments regarding the planning committee? Moving on, health and safety, Mr. Piper.
Health and Safety Committee met at 6:53 p.m. Members present were Dan Ross, Bill O'Rourke, and myself, Chair. Item number 1, ambulance contract. Under consideration is proposed 1-year extension of the city's contract with the Central Joint Ambulance District. Terry Lenhart, CJAD member and Chatfield Township trustee, said ambulance provider Life Support intends to keep its staffing for 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. runs at 3 crews. Contract extension, however, calls for 2 crews for those runs. The administration is agreeable to signing an extension to a status quo contract that includes 3 lifeguard support crews for 7 p.m. to 7 a.m., but is uncertain whether the extension under consideration with its changes represents a new contract. Law Director Rob Ratliff detailed several of what he considers significant changes from the original contract and the extension. He stressed that he thinks it's important to clarify whether the proposed extension continues the existing contract with modifications made since the contract was signed in 2014, or whether the extension represents a new agreement. The Law Director considers it the latter. Finally, he noted that if the extension should be considered the existing contract with detailed modifications, then it differs from the earlier versions of the modified contract. The matter was continued until it can be determined what precisely the city is being asked to sign. Play for recess to Health and Safety Committee at 7:31 p.m.
Questions or comments regarding this committee report for the Health and Safety Committee? Mr. O'Rourke?
I'd like to ask Mr. Ratliff if they found a copy of the original contract.
No, I made a records request for certain documents at the last meeting. I haven't received those yet, but it's only been a few days. So I'm not going to do anything with a copy.
Any other questions or comments? Okay, thank you. Would you like to finish this out for us, please, Mr. Piper?
Sure. There was no public participation, so I ask for a motion to adjourn the joint regular committees. Motion by SAC and second by O'Rourke to adjourn at 7:31 p.m. Motion passed.
Thank you. Traffic Commission, we have no report this evening. Are there any traffic questions for the mayor? Mr. O'Rourke?
There's a meeting 10 a.m. the 25th.
10:30.
Look where it was. First item, when the chief was in here, we talked about the accident on Walnut Street. We talked about the streets are watching everything. And at that meeting, by that meeting, I'd like you to have him bring out how many citations have been issued on the streets he mentioned. It shouldn't take very long. All I have to do is check the officer's arrest recaps. So it gives a number of what enforcement actions been taking. And item 2, a couple months ago, I made mention of 7 speed limit signs on Beale Avenue between Route 4 and 98 in 1/3 of a mile. There's still 7 signs there. If you think you need signs, I think 1 at each end would be adequate.
We have 7 speed limit signs between Marion Road and Sandusky.
Yeah, last I heard, you were going to talk to Mr. Dunn or somebody, and they're still there.
Mr. McKeever?
I will want to say thank you for getting the pressure sensor at East Mansfield and Whetstone.
You
We'll see how
noticed.
well. Heck, yes, I
You did that for you.
No, you did that for everybody who's heading eastbound that's stuck in front of Carly's and you can't get out.
Well,
So, you know, thank you. I did notice it was put in today.
yes, it was put in today. We were just wondering if anybody would notice.
I did.
I'm glad you did.
Trust me, I've been looking every day.
Any other traffic-related questions you'd like to address, Mr. Pfeiffer?
Just a quick comment. I see on Spring Street, we've had our radar trailer park there, and it did not take long for somebody to realize if you pull a Suburban right up to that thing, it doesn't detect any cars going by, so it's sitting there doing absolutely nothing.
If you do what to it?
Just pull a big old Suburban right up to it and park it.
Because then the radar.
Oh,
watch
pull
the
another
sensors.
car up to it, oh, okay.
Right,
Okay,
right, so we might either
Check on that.
relocate our trailer or have them relocate
Okay.
their truck.
I'm getting it, head nod back there.
Right.
Is that your Suburban?
Late 90s. Golden color.
Any other traffic questions?
I did not get a license plate.
Okay. I need a motion then to accept the committee minutes and related committee reports.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. McKeever, second by Mr. Wireball, to accept the committee minutes and related reports collectively. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion passed. Report of city officers. Mayor Reeser.
First, just let me remind you, we just talked about, we will have a traffic commission meeting on Friday, the 25th at 10:30 right here in council chambers. You're all welcome to come. And so this is a big week for Bucyrus. We will be welcoming thousands of out-of-town visitors this week for the big 50th celebration. It's been in the planning for quite a while. Brody turns 50, doesn't look a day older than 20 maybe, but there's been you think about all the bratwurst that's been consumed over those years, it's been tons and tons and tons. But even more important than the bratwurst is how the community benefits from it. And the last couple of years, I think the marriage between the city council, the administration, and the festival is paying off too. We have hundreds of thousands of visitors. They come to enjoy this, which I think is the best festival. I've been to quite a few festivals. I think it's still one of the best, if not the best. We can't overlook the volunteer efforts that it takes. There's no one there that's paid. And that's quite amazing to have you've all been part of volunteer organizations. You know how they can ebb and flow. But to be able to keep it going for 50 years is incredible. So the other organizations that benefit from it should be thanked too. Church organizations, Salvation Army. Together we hurt, together we heal. All those folks benefit by the hard work that's put in these organizations and the good works that go on and on year round from just those 3 days are pretty incredible. I did want to remind everybody that you're all invited to the opening ceremony. This year it's going to be moved a half an hour. It's 11:30 instead of noon. It's going to be at the FC Bank stage this year, so it's been moved for location. Boyd Long will be honored at the ceremony. We're going to have quite a few of his family members. And also we're going to have representatives from all the mayor's families for the last 50 years of that ceremony. We're also expecting some distinguished guests, representatives in the state of Ohio. Wes Goodman is going to be there 3 days. He's our state rep. Jim Jordan, our congressman, will be here on Thursday. And Attorney General Mike DeWine will be here on Saturday to take part in the parade along with his wife, Fran. If you've never met Fran, she's a wonderful lady, and maybe you'll be lucky enough to get one of her cookbooks. So, the opening float is quite unique. I think there's the people on the board are idea people, and we came up with the idea that the first float would be, instead of just having the mayor, let's have all the mayors or family representatives for the last 50 years. So myself is going to be on that, Mr. Ross. Ms. Love is going to be on that too. And family members go all the way back to Claire Sherrick, who was the first mayor. So we're excited about that. just want to remind everybody to make sure we put our best face forward. Make sure our properties look good. Grass is mowed. Corey, you can help take care of that. But it's time for Bucyrus to shine. So we thank all of you in advance, and we certainly thank the committee for what they've done. One last thing, school starts next week, and I want to wish all the school staffs, principals, students, teachers, good luck. And sports teams begin next week. Football begins. I know cross country and tennis is already underway. So we're early on. So good luck there. That kind of snuck up on us pretty quickly this year, didn't it? So,
Golf's underway too.
golf's underway too. Yes. That's all for today. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you. Any questions for the mayor this evening? Yes, Mr. Wireball?
Did we hire landscapers to do some of the mowing or something around town? I've seen some in a park, so I don't know if they were.
In our part, no.
Okay, maybe they were just
Helping out.
helping out.
No, we have just our regular staff and plus some temporary.
Well, and then it's the same lands, so then on the same, I guess, tone, do these landscapers that are in town, are they permitted to dump out of here
At the compost site?
at the compost site?
Yeah, I thought. We'll take the compost.
Okay. Any other questions or comments from the mayor? The Service Safety Director's report, Mr. Wagner's not with us this evening, but
I
if
have
you
it right
continue.
right in front of me, the East Southern Storm Improvement Project. That's the one that's out towards the YMCA, is almost finished. Should be done, wrapped up the next couple of weeks. We have a pre-con meeting this Thursday at 1 o'clock for the airport runway project. The large Southern Truck Sewer Extension project is going well. They're moving quickly. They're all the way east of Sandusky Avenue now. We've had some dust here in the past couple of weeks, which we apologize about because it hasn't been so dry. And we've asked them to put more water on, so we're on top of that. The project requires a lot of patience, so we ask for everybody's patience as this goes on. The Southeast Street, Oakwood, and North Street Waterline Project, that's has been awarded. R.A. Boris has done some work for us before, and North Sandusky Avenue and Plymouth Street, they have a contract, and they're going to begin about the end of August. So we're going to have some things torn up here a little bit, so I ask for patience. Also in that side of town, Route 19 and 100 is going to be repaved, and there's going to be some railroad work done over there. So just to head off a few phone calls, just have some patience. When it's done, your area town's going to look really nice. So we've had a great year at the pool. Slide was a smashing success. We are open weekends now. Traditionally, we're open weekends through Labor Day, and then we'll close after Labor Day. Got a great lifeguard staff. Anna's done a fantastic job. Concession stand, if you're out that way, concession stand has lots of value. We don't want to carry any food over, so there's a lot of half-price food. So maybe we'll meet out there for dinner or something. We have seasonal help that we are looking for. So if you know of anybody that needs a job mowing, we've got some openings for you. So come up to the mayor's office and fill out an application. We can put you to work right away. We ask everyone to remove garage sale signs from tree lawns. This seems to be kind of an ongoing problem. If you put a garage sale up sign with staples on the utility pole, please come back and take them off. We ask you to do that. Also, very important, do not mow your grass in the street, because what happens, that grass collects on the drains and it covers it up, so you get a nice storm and the street's going to flood because it has nowhere to go. Please remove it from there if you would. Finally, the Eagle Scouts and Boy Scouts are collecting canned goods. Maybe you're one of the residents that has received a brown paper bag with a letter explaining where to drop off your canned goods. And we have more information in the mayor's office about that. too. So thank you to the Boy Scouts and Eagle Scouts for taking on such a needed project in the community. And that's report for tonight.
Okay, thank you. Any questions regarding this report this evening? Mr. Piper?
On number 7, one about mowing the grass in the street, I think it's time to try reverse psychology, because the more we tell people not to mow the grass in the street, the more it goes in the street. So just start mowing it in the street. And then they will stop.
Even the city workers do it.
Right. And yeah, the city workers, and I'm not picking on them, the landscaping companies, it doesn't matter who it is. But everyone is just, especially if they got a riding for it.
So maybe we'll have Mr. Grove do a tag.
The old armory, I mean, you wait till the grass is 8 inches high, and you come down through it with a riding mower, you cannot see the street. You can't see right through the street, halfway across. It's crazy.
It's frustrating.
Like I said, we'll try to reverse psychology, see how that works.
Hey, any other comments or questions? I guess I need to comment on the Southern Trunk sewer extension line. I guess the neighbors, they've gotten to know the guys that are working now. And this past week, they were delivered cookies and brownies while they were on their break from one of the neighbors out there. So they're nice guys, earning their living and trying to do their best to serve our community too. So that was very nice to hear that somebody stepped forward and did that for them. My other question to you would be one that we've been approached about is mosquitoes.
We've been spraying, I think we sprayed 3 times already. We sprayed again last week. We've had a little dry spell here, and it's been a noticeable improvement. Combination of the dry weather and all the spraying we've done so far, I think it's really helped. But we'll spray as needed. We have plenty to spray.
Okay, thank you. Moving on then, Law Director, Mr. Ratliff.
Thank you, Madam President. I did tender a written report, as usual. I do want to thank Mr. Grove for coming in today and showing us some of the pictures. I think one of the things to take away from some of these pictures is not only how bad some of these residences are, but a number of these had children living in them. I find that troubling, to say the least. The process takes a long, long time. The West Rensselaer Street house was mentioned. It's been 2 years we've been fighting that one since the original inspection. And I think Mr. Grove was actually at that original inspection where we had to call the bomb squad because of conditions in the house. So it takes a long time. Land bank is in place now. We're getting more properties torn down. Starting to see some of those. We've seen a couple in the last couple of weeks that have got torn down. We're trying to do what we can to incentivize property owners to look at land bank as a viable option. When we can identify the property owner, and if it's somebody local or even somebody regional, it's fairly straightforward. A lot of these properties are owned by banks. They're what's colloquially referred to as zombie houses, where these absentee national banks are just, they try to get somebody on the phone from Chase Bank, So it's a problem, and we're doing what we can to try to incentivize that and incentivize those houses going to land bank. The one update that I will give is the Warren Street, which was a series of fires. Those houses are either in possession of the land bank or on their way to the possession of the land bank. One of the issues with land bank, however, is because it is a quasi-government entity, it has to jump through all the hoops just like the city does with respect to asbestos inspections and other EPA type issues. So they're going through that process with those properties now. One of them, I do believe, indications were that there were some asbestos shingles or siding or something. So that's going to drag out a little bit. It's going to be very expensive. Estimates on the one that burned down, even in its burned out conditions, are that it may surpass more than $25,000 to finish digging out that hole. So those are what we're working with. Land bank estimates are probably November before those are finally demolished and back to a cleared lot. But it does take time, so we're working on it and making some improvements. As the mayor said, and as Gordon Grove will attest, we do thank you for your commitment to the property maintenance and to the property maintenance inspections. Spending the money to fund Gordon's position is, I think, imperative in the city. You can see some of the conditions, and it doesn't only impact that house or that residence or even just the children living in that house. It impacts everybody on that block, everybody in that neighborhood, everybody in that area, and it has far-reaching impact. Even studies have shown even to the psyche and the outlook on the future that children have when they grow up in environments like that. So I do appreciate you taking making the effort to commit to these property inspections. We hope that as this progresses and as we start getting through courts and through fines and through penalties, maybe we can start recovering some of that commitment back and maybe even become self-funding with respect to Mr. Grove's position. But the commitment to the children and to the families and the communities that are forced to live next door to these things is something that I believe was needed, and I do appreciate you guys making that commitment. So thank you.
Any questions or comments for the law director this evening? Ms.
Where
Sack?
are we at with Rogers Street?
Inching towards a solution, there'll be hopefully an announcement. I hate to say soon because I've been fighting it for 4 years since I've been here, and I know the city was fighting it for a decade before that at least. But in relative terms, definitely soon. We are inching towards a solution there.
Is he still below water?
He is.
You haven't got close to it?
Well, I know exactly where he's at. It's a long way away. Across several state borders. And there's extradition treaty issues and some other things.
Get him going, please.
Any other questions or comments for the law director? Okay, thank you. Moving on, auditor, Mrs. Schiffer.
Thank you, Madam President. As you'll see by my rather lengthy list here, I've got some referrals. We need 3 appropriations in the general fund. One is in Program 6, Transportation, Airport Contractual Services, in the amount of $4,000. This is for the 5% share of engineering for the runway project for this year. And I will also need legislation authorizing me to pay Crawford Murphy and Tilley for services already provided without the customary PO needed prior to work being done. Then in Program 7, General Government, Law Director, Contractual Services, we need an appropriation in the amount of $32,000 for legal services related to labor negotiations. And I will also need legislation authorizing me to pay Zashin and Rich Company, LPA, for services already provided without the customary PO needed prior to work being done. Also in the general fund, Program 7, under custodian, personal services, we need to appropriate $1,500 for health insurance for the remainder of the year. We need an appropriation in the Muni MV license fund under the license tax, materials and supplies in the amount of $10,000. This is for traffic signal controllers and related equipment for traffic signals. We also need an appropriation in the new water filtration plant distribution lines construction fund in the amount of $423,129. This reflects the change orders that have been approved since February 2017. We're getting down to what I have on the purchase order is not going to cover the rest of this, so we need to reflect what that loan is and what's been approved in change orders. And I believe that's all I have.
Good, take a breath.
Yeah.
I have a question about the first one. For that airport, that's being done out there for that runway project. I thought we were using some of the gift money from that property that was donated to us by Horde to pay that money. As a credit.
Well, we do have a credit,
Yes.
but I'm not exactly sure how all that works with, I mean, we gotta write the PO with the percentages, and I'm not sure how the FAA actually gives us the credit on there.
But that's
There's a
something.
reduction somehow.
Okay, we'll
but-
check back into that one, even if we put the money out there, it's not spent,
Right,
it won't be.
it won't be,
Won't hurt
it'll
anything,
just be
okay.
there. Yeah, it won't hurt anything.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? Okay, I need a motion then for the appropriations. One is $4,000 for the airport, one is for the contractual services for labor negotiations. Another one is $1,500 for personal services and for the custodian for health insurance. And one is for the UNEMB license fund for purchase of controllers and related equipment for traffic. And we also need an appropriation in the new water filtration plant distribution lines construction fund to cover change orders since February. Do I have a motion, please? Second? Motion by Mr. O'Rourke, second by Mr. McKeever for those appropriations. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion passed. Then we also need two separate pieces, or can we do both of these in one piece of legislation? Or do
I
they
don't
need to
know,
be
I defer
separate?
to the law director on that one.
What,
Those are the ones to authorize him to pay for dated prior to work being done, not having do those need two or one? Can we do it in both of them in one piece of legislation, or do we need two pieces of
no,
legislation?
you need one for the appropriation for the
Yeah.
ongoing stuff, and then you need a second one for the past.
Okay, so, but we do all of our appropriations in one piece of legislation.
No, that one needs to be a separate piece.
Oh,
Well, the appropriations will be separate, but what she's asking is the authorization for me to pay the bills for, that have already been,
Yeah, the authorization would be.
can that happen in one or two? Since one's for airport engineering, one's for,
It has to be two separate ones.
two separate ones, all right.
Yes.
So we need separate piece of legislation for those two, for the authorization to pay. Do I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Sacks, second by Mr. Piper for the authorization to pay for work that was completed prior to a purchase order being set up. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion passed. Thank you. You also have the auditor's statement of cash position dated July the 31st, 2017. I need a motion to accept and file this.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Wirebaugh, second by Mr. McKeever for the auditor's statement of cash position dated July the 31st, 2017. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion passed. Moving on to the treasurer's report. We have the treasurer's report for June the 7th, 2017. It has been resubmitted for you to look over. And we also have the treasurer's report for July of 2017. It's been submitted, so look those over. Those will come back around the next meeting. Yes, Mr. O'Rourke.
Has the discrepancies been found?
It has been taken care of. Okay? So those will, read those through and we'll bring those back for approval next meeting. Police chief is not with us this evening, neither is the fire chief. I need a motion to accept the city officers' reports.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Motion by Mr. McKeever, second by Mr. Wirebaugh to accept city officers' reports. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion passed. This is the time where visitors' input regarding reports of standing or special committees and of city officers. If anyone would like to address council this evening, please step to the podium. Anyone to address council this evening? No one?
Ma'am,
Pardon? Yes. Pastor?
if I might say as a township trustee, our president is on the ambulance board. We met last night, and he did mention your public request, and I understood that it's available, so you should be getting that if he doesn't.
Okay, thank you.
That's me.
Anyone else? For consideration of proposed legislation for the first time.
We have 4 pieces of legislation. Ordinance number 38, 2017, amending and supplementing ordinance number 50, 2016, being the annual appropriations ordinance for 2017 by appropriating from unappropriated general funds the sum of $1,000 to the contractual services line item within the fire department category within the program 1, security of persons and property subparagraph. Further appropriating from unappropriated general funds the sum of $200 to the material and supplies line item within the general government category within the program 7, general government subparagraph. Further appropriating from unappropriated sewage disposal funds the sum of $1,000 to the contractual services line item within the sewage disposal operations and maintenance category within the sewage disposal subparagraph. Finally, appropriating from unappropriated derelict building liability funds the sum of $4,666.67 to the other uses line item within the fire department category within the derelict building liability subparagraph and declaring an emergency. That is referred back to finance. Ordinance number 39, 2017, amending and supplementing section 1175.02 entitled Permitted Uses in Downtown Business District under Chapter 1175 entitled Downtown Business District under Chapter 11 entitled Planning and Zoning of the Codified Ordinance of the City of Bucyrus, Ohio, and declaring an emergency. That is referred back to the Planning Committee. Ordinance number 40, 2017, amending and supplementing section 1175.03 entitled Conditional Uses under Chapter 1175 entitled Downtown Business District under Chapter 11 entitled Planning and Zoning of the Codified Ordinance of the City of Bucyrus, Ohio, and declaring an emergency. That's also referred back to the Planning Committee. And resolution number 225, 2017, authorizing and directing the Service Safety Director on behalf of the City of Bucyrus, Ohio, to approve an easement on behalf of American Electric Power, AEP Incorporated, for the installation and replacement of utility poles at Aumiller Park and declaring an emergency. That is referred back to the Public Lands and Buildings Committee.
Okay, I need a motion to accept this as a first reading.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Motion by Mr. McKeever, second by Mr. Wireball to accept this as the first reading of legislation this evening. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Motion passed. Thank you. Referred 38-2017 back to Finance Committee. Ordinance 39-2017 back to Planning Committee. Ordinance number 40-2017 back to Planning Committee. And resolution number 225-2017 to Public Lands and Buildings. This is a time where we have public participation. Any member of the general public may present their input or comments on legislation that has been read for the first time. Does anyone wish to address council at this time? No one? Do we need a recess this evening? No? Okay, we'll move through that. Committee reports. Finance Committee.
Finance Committee is favorable ordinance 38-2017, there is appropriation.
Planning Committee.
Planning is favorable to ordinance 39-2017 retail in downtown business district. And planning is favorable to ordinance 40-2017 dining and alcohol sales in downtown business district.
Public Lands and Buildings.
Public Lands and Buildings Committee is favorable to resolution 225-2017, the Aumiller Park easement.
Okay, thank you. I need a motion to accept these reports.
So second.
Motion by Mr. Trucas, second by Mr. Piper to accept the reports. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Motion passed.
Before we go, I have a quick question on resolution 225, 2017.
Resolution on 22/25/2017, yes.
Okay, when you go down to section 2, okay, starting there being outlots 274, go down a couple sentences. It says commencing at a stone in the center of the lane on the west line of outlots 274. typically, don't we have iron rods hammered in the ground instead of starting at stone?
Typically, but this is the, this is the.
Like from 18 something?
Yeah, this is the original description.
Okay, I was curious.
This is Aumiller Park.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, I know, I'm just,
Yeah.
start from.
No, I mean, we could update that, I mean, with surveying stuff and with the GIS mapping.
Right, just,
Yeah, I mean, you know, you look at half the properties in town and the, you know, the lines aren't where anybody thought they were, so, yeah.
all right, carry on.
Okay. Anything else? Okay, for further consideration of pending legislation. For the second and third reading of proposed ordinance number 38-2017, which are the various appropriations, do I hear a motion to suspend the rules, waive the reading of the caption and text, and declare it an emergency?
So moved.
Second.
Wireball,
Yes.
McKeever,
Yes.
Ross,
Yeah.
Trucca,
Yes.
Sack,
Yes.
O'Rourke,
Yes.
Piper.
Yes.
Ordinance number 38-2017.
Do I hear a motion to adopt proposed ordinance number 38-2017?
So moved.
Piper,
Yes.
O'Rourke,
Yes.
McKeever,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
Wireball,
Yes.
Trucca,
Yes.
Sack.
Yes.
Ordinance number 38-2017 is duly adopted. For the second and third reading of proposed ordinance number 39-2017, which is the retail sales in downtown business district, do I hear a motion to suspend the rules, waive the reading of caption and text, and declare it an emergency?
So moved.
Second.
McKeever,
Yes.
Piper,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
Wireball,
Yes.
Trucca,
Yes.
Sack,
Yes.
O'Rourke.
Yes.
Ordinance number 39-2017.
Do I hear a motion to adopt proposed ordinance number 39-2017?
So moved.
Second.
Wireball,
Yes.
Sack,
Yes.
O'Rourke,
Yes.
Piper,
Yes.
McKeever,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
Trucca.
Yes.
Ordinance number 39-2017 is duly adopted. For the second and third reading of proposed ordinance number 40-2017, which is the dining/alcohol sales in downtown business district, do I hear a motion to suspend the rules, waive the reading of the caption and text, and declare it an emergency?
So moved.
Second.
McKeever,
Yes.
Wireball,
Yes.
Trucca,
Yes.
Sack,
Yes.
O'Rourke,
Yes.
Piper,
Yes.
Ross.
Yeah.
Ordinance number 40-2017.
Do I hear a motion to adopt proposed ordinance number 40-2017?
So moved.
Second.
McKeever,
Yes.
Piper,
Yes.
Ross,
Yeah.
Wireball,
Yes.
Trucca,
Yes.
Sack,
Yes.
O'Rourke.
Yes.
Ordinance number 40-2017 is duly adopted. For the second and third reading of proposed resolution 225-2017, which is the Aumiller Park easements, do I hear a motion to suspend the rules, waive the reading of the caption and text, and declare it an emergency?
So moved.
Second.
McKeever,
Yes.
Wireball,
Yes.
Trucca,
Yes.
Sack,
Yes.
O'Rourke,
Yes.
Piper,
Yes.
Ross.
Yeah.
Resolution number 225-2017.
Do I hear a motion to adopt proposed resolution 225-2017?
So moved.
Second.
Piper,
Yes.
McKeever,
Yes.
Ross,
Yeah.
Wireball,
Yes.
Trucca,
Yes.
Sack,
Yes.
O'Rourke.
Yes.
Resolution number 225-2017 is duly adopted. We move on to old business. The June and July minutes of the Crawford Park District meetings are in the council clerk's office. Does anyone else have any old business they'd like to bring up this evening? No one? Moving on to new and miscellaneous business. Thursday through Saturday is the 50th annual Bucyrus Bratwurst Festival. I believe they start setting up tonight at midnight. Isn't that when all of the festivities begin? Okay. Friday, the city offices will close at noon. On Monday, council's joint regular committee meeting is at 6 p.m. It's moved from this Thursday, August 17th, to Monday at 6 p.m. August the 23rd is the first day of school for Bucyrus City Schools. August the 24th is Music at the Mural presents Glass Forest from 7:30 to 9 p.m. August the 27th is Hogs for Dogs fundraiser ride at the Humane Society at 1 p.m. It costs $25. I wonder what that is. I hadn't heard of this one before. I'll have to look that one up. September the 4th is Labor Day. City offices are closed. So over Labor Day weekend, in the paper, we'll be adjusting our pickup trash schedule.
Trash will be Tuesday.
Okay, trash will be Tuesday.
Have your trash out at 7 a.m.
Yeah, 7 a.m., no later. We hate to see anybody chasing the garbage truck down the street.
They always stop.
Huh?
They always stop.
I know. Eventually. September the 16th, dedication of new water treatment plant. The tours will start at 10 a.m. and the dedication is at noon. On September the 16th, Unity in the Community, Southeast Corner, Washington Square at 1 p.m. Another project coming up in September. Does anyone else have any new and miscellaneous business? Yes, Mr. O'Rourke.
I think you stated the wrong date on the first day of school. I thought you said August 23rd.
I did. He told me it was the 23rd, not the 22nd.
What's that?
You told me that the first day of school was the 23rd, not the 22nd.
That is actually on the school's website. If you go check the calendar on the school's website, and it is the 23rd, Wednesday.
Wednesday, okay.
That wasn't what I read somewhere.
Everybody better be looking, okay?
I think it was.
Wait a
came out from the
second.
school district.
Any other new or miscellaneous business this evening? No? We have someone new with us this evening, and I hear you're new to our community. Would you please step up and introduce yourself to our community? Yes.
I'm Ray Valdez, and I'm with the Salvation Army. My wife Heidi and I are the Corps officers of the Salvation Army here in Bucyrus.
Welcome to Bucyrus.
Thank you very much.
And you've served where prior to this?
Dayton.
Pardon me?
Dayton.
In Dayton, okay. Well, welcome to a small town then. It's a little bit different, I'm sure.
Not so much.
Okay. Well, we'll be working with you. There's a lot of things going on, and we appreciate everything you do for our community. Any other comments? Okay. Everybody is here this evening. Our joint regular committee meetings was not this Thursday, but will be Monday evening at 6 o'clock because of the Bratwurst Festival. All referrals from this council meeting and any open project list items may be discussed during the committee meetings. Those referrals from this evening were?
We have 3 referrals from this evening. The mobile home zoning issue from council to the planning committee. 5 appropriations from the auditor to finance. 2 authorization to pay pieces of legislation from the auditor to finance. And also already in committee in health and safety for the agenda on Monday will be the ambulance contract with the county. And that is all we have.
Okay, thank you. The next WBCO radio program is on Wednesday, September the 13th. Mr. Wireball volunteered to do that. They'll contact you about you actually record this ahead of time. It's no longer live. Okay. So if you start sneezing all over the place, they don't. You're all right. Okay.
What day was that?
I don't know. They'll contact you about when. It'll be prior to the 13th. Okay, I need a motion to adjourn then.
So move.
Motion by Mr. McKeever, second by Mr. Truca to adjourn at 8:24 p.m.